It is sometimes called the most dangerous bird in the world, but behind this terrifying reputation lies an almost prehistoric survivor. Meet the cassowary. Known scientifically as Casuarius, the southern cassowary belongs to the family Casuaridae, a small group of giant flightless birds that also includes the northern and dwarf cassowaries. It is one of the heaviest birds alive today, with adults able to stand around 1.5 to 1.8 meters tall and weigh dozens of kilograms. With its coarse black plumage, electric blue neck, red wattles, and helmet-like casque, it looks less like a modern bird and more like a relic from another age. The cassowary lives in the tropical rainforests of New Guinea, nearby islands in northeastern Australia, especially in dense, humid forest where visibility is low and the vegetation is thick. That habitat explains much of its body design. Its powerful legs allow it to move through tangled undergrowth with shocking speed. Its three-toed feet are built like weapons, and the inner claw can be dangerously long and sharp. The casque on top of its head is still debated by scientists, but it may help the bird move through dense forest, signal age or dominance, or even amplify sound. Everything about the cassowary is built for a hidden life in the rainforest understory. Despite its fearsome appearance, the cassowary is not a mindless killer. It is mostly a solitary diurnal forest bird that spends much of its life quietly walking, feeding, and defending territory. Its diet is centered on fallen fruit, which makes it primarily frugivorous, though it will also eat fungi, snails, insects, and small vertebrates when the opportunity arises. In fact, the cassowary is one of the most important fruit eaters in its ecosystem. Because it swallows many fruits whole and can carry seeds over long distances, it becomes a living transport system for the rainforest. Some seeds are so large that few other animals can disperse them effectively. And that is where the cassowary becomes far more than a strange bird. It becomes a rainforest engineer. Conservationists often describe cassowaries as gardeners of the forest because they help regenerate the ecosystem every time they feed. By spreading seeds through their droppings, they help new trees take root across large areas. In some forests, this role is absolutely critical for plant diversity and long-term regeneration. Remove the cassowary, and you do not just lose a bird, you weaken the future of the entire forest community built around fruiting plants and the animals that depend on them. Its reproduction is just as fascinating. During breeding, the female lays around 3 to 5 eggs, usually a striking green color, in a simple nest on the ground. And then comes the twist. In cassowaries, it is the male that takes over. He incubates the eggs and later raises the chicks alone, protecting them and guiding them for many months as they learn how to survive in the forest. This reversal of the parental role is one of the most remarkable aspects of cassowary biology and adds even more depth to an animal often reduced to its violent reputation. So, why is it called one of the most dangerous birds on Earth? The answer lies in its defensive power. A threatened cassowary can kick with enormous force, using its legs and dagger-like claw to strike. Human injuries, though rare, can be severe when people corner, provoke, feed, or attempt to approach the bird too closely. That reputation did not appear from nowhere. But the important truth is this: cassowaries are not out hunting humans. Most conflict happens because humans ignore distance, disturb habitat, or teach wild birds to associate people with food. In the wild, a cassowary usually wants space, not confrontation. Its relationship with humans is therefore complex. On one side, people fear it, sensationalize it, and often reduce it to headlines about danger. On the other, humans are the real source of many of the cassowary's problems. In Australia, Major threats include habitat loss, road strikes, dog attacks, and habitat fragmentation, all of which place pressure on local populations. Cyclones can also reduce fruit availability, making survival even harder in fragmented forests. The cassowary may look like a survivor from prehistory, but in the modern world, even a giant like this can be fragile. Globally, the southern cassowary is listed by the IUCN as least concern, but that broad classification can hide serious local pressures, especially in parts of Australia where populations remain vulnerable to human-caused threats. In other words, the species may not be on the brink worldwide. Yet, specific regional populations still require active protection, habitat corridors, road safety measures, and public education. Conservation is not just about whether a species exists somewhere on Earth. It is about whether it can still survive where it belongs. The cassowary is not just a bird with a terrifying kick. It is a living reminder that evolution can produce creatures both beautiful and intimidating, ancient-looking and ecologically essential. It is a giant fruit eater, a solitary forest guardian, a devoted father, and one of the last great seed dispersers of the tropical rainforest. So, yes, people may call it the most dangerous bird in the world, but the deeper story is far more powerful. The cassowary is not a monster of the forest. It is one of its last great protectors,